€10 million is the amount that the new Dutch government estimated they could raise from licensing online gambling. I caught up with leading Dutch lawyer Justin Franssen to ask him about what's going to happen in the market there, and also about European internal market czar Michel Barnier's ongoing study of online gambling in Europe. The new coalition government seems to have indicated that it's going to take a different approach to online gambling to its predecessors. How responsive do you think the new gambling minister in Holland is going to be to opening up and liberalising the online gambling market?
Well, I don't like the word liberalisation because it will not be a liberalisation, it will be a regulation. But yes, there are some upcoming dramatic changes in the Netherlands. As you know, the Dutch marketplace was notoriously complex with a lot of litigation. The Betfair Ladbrokes cases against the Lotto. A very tough government stance on internet gambling, and that has changed overnight, I can say, with a new right-wing government which came into place just last week. So the earliest moment we can see legislation, I don't think it's realistic, but theoretically it could be in 14 months. So I think it's of paramount importance that the remote gaming sector now steps forward and explains to the government how regulation works in the other member states. Because there's no knowledge, of course, with the Dutch regulator. They have no experience with gaming, so it's of paramount importance that the sector steps forward and explains, what is, for instance, international liquidity. How does the taxation work?
How optimistic should operators be about Holland opening up its market?
Well, more optimistic than ever. When the news broke, it was almost an emotional moment. I've been in this sector for a very long time, since its inception. And everything we did, litigation, everything was an uphill battle. And I think now with the government agreement, I mean, it's just there in writing. We are going to regulate the sector. The report of the Johnson Commission could be a fallback scenario. You never know. The political landscape can change overnight. I mean, the government can fall. There's so much stuff that can happen, and you still have the Johnson report as a fallback scenario. So, if and when they will look at the regulation of sports betting and casino gaming, if that doesn't fly, you still have the outcome of the Johnson report. So. It will still play a role, I would say, yes.
Justin, you recently proposed a conditional licensing principle whereby some member states would passport another operator's application for licenses based on agreements with other member states. Why are you suggesting this as a model for European online gambling?
Well, mutual recognition is dead. I think it's a fair conclusion after all the recent court decisions. It has been almost explicitly stated by the European Court in the various recent court cases. And going forward, I think what we're looking at is a situation where operators are obtaining multiple licenses in various jurisdictions. And of course, it's quite burdensome. If you have a license in Italy or France and later, hopefully next year in Denmark, and you will be trying to obtain a license in, let's say, the Netherlands, if and when it liberalizes. It would be a bit weird if you have to go through all the whole vetting process again and the testing of your technical system if you have already done so in 3 other jurisdictions. So what we're promoting is essentially cooperation between member states if it comes to licensing.
And what were your thoughts on Barnier's speech about his forthcoming Green Paper, and were there any unanswered questions?
Yeah, I think his speech was rather balanced. He didn't side with the private sector or with the public sector, with the governments. It was rather a political speech, but it's hopeful, to say the least, that he is going to set up these expert groups, expert meeting groups. And hopefully something useful comes out of it. What we're looking at now is that the whole there seems to be a shift from the focus on Brussels and Europe to the individual member states. I mean, if you look at the landscape now and compare it to let's say 3 years ago, a lot of member states are regulating. And I think the focus will be local licensing, and the focus will be less on what comes from Brussels and the European Commission.